Hi there. We all know that in Ireland, horse racing is in the blood, and we want to help make your experience as good as possible. So this time we'll be taking a look at the Racecard, and we'll bring you through all the information that you'll find within it. But first, just imagine yourself in the mountains, without a guide, no map, no compass, no mobile phone, lost in the mountains. Well, think of the Racecard as your guide. It's your map or compass to horse racing.
The first thing you should do when you arrive at the racecourse is to buy a race card. There's information in the card that you'll need to know about the owners, trainers, horses, jockeys and the courses. Here is a typical page from the card. It looks like a lot of information at first, but when you look closer, it's not complicated at all.
The first thing we see here are the colours that the jockeys will be wearing. Every owner has to have their own colours, and the trainer keeps a set of these in the stable yard. These colours are registered with Horse Racing Ireland and are exclusive to each owner. They're called silks because they're made from the lightest material possible, which traditionally has been silk. Other modern materials are used now. Some of the colours are very distinctive, but there are many variations and combinations. So a little tip is that when you're in the parade ring and the jockeys have mounted, try to remember the colours of the jockeys' caps. It's often the only identifying feature you'll be able to see once the race starts, if the horses are bunched or if it's a tightly knit group as they're coming down the straight towards the finishing post. When there are two horses in the race which have the same owner, two jockeys will have the same colours, but there will be a difference in the markings on their caps. Every horse has a number which is displayed beside the saddle, and when you first see it in the parade ring, this number makes it very easy for you to identify the horse that you may have picked. These numbers, however, don't bear any relationship to the horse's position in the stalls at the beginning of the race, but they can be an indication of the weight that the horse has to carry. The one that has been handicapped with the most weight, and probably the favourite, is given the number 1, and the next most weighted horse is given the number 2, and so on. We'll explain how the handicap system works at another time.
Here's the name of the horse, and there isn't much to say about this except that many people pick a horse simply because they like the name, and sometimes this technique works.
This is where you will see the colour of the horse. Knowing the colour of your horse will help you spot it from a distance. For example, B is bay, BR is brown, CH is chestnut, and GR is grey. Of course, it makes it easier to spot your horse when you know the colour. Some of us have a liking for a horse of one colour or another, and knowing this in advance of the race may influence your decision of which horse to pick. There's often confusion with getting it right when it comes to talking about horses and whether it's a boy or it's a girl. There are quite a few options here. You'll see here on the race card a series of abbreviations which are telling us about the sex of the horse. C is colt, which is a young male horse less than 4 years old who's still intact. H is horse, an adult male. G is gelding, which is a male horse that's been castrated. F is a filly, which is a young female, and M is for mare, which is an older female. At this stage, you're really getting to know a lot about your horse, and having this information should help you make your decision. This is telling us about the weight the horse is going to carry, and it's important because it will affect its performance. This is the weight the jockey carries. So if a jockey is 8 stone and the allowed weight for the horse is 10 stone, or if the race conditions have a minimum weight, then the jockey will have to carry more in what's called a lead cloth. About half of the races in Ireland each year are handicaps. These are races where the handicappers try to give each horse an equal chance of winning. They do this by giving each horse a rating. There are teams of handicappers whose job it is to give the horse a handicap rating, and they do this by studying and interpreting the horse's performance on the racecourse. Based on this, they publish a list of updated ratings every week. The highest rated or best horse will be given the heaviest weight to carry. Inferior horses carry reduced weights. Let's say that you and I own horses and yours is rated 110 and mine is rated 100. Then the difference of the 10 pounds in weight is added to my horse, and this gives each horse a fair chance of winning. For most owners, handicaps offer the best chance of winning a race. Without them, the top horses would almost always win, and there'd be no point in owning anything other than a top horse. In a separate programme, we'll have an expert explain everything to do with handicapping. The trainer's name is here on the right-hand side. It's very important to know who's trained the horse. I'm sure you recognise some of the names here. It's good to learn about the trainers and a bit about their track record. In motor racing, we can ask if it's the car or the driver. In horse racing, many people ask if it's the horse or the jockey. The card will give you the name of the jockey, and sometimes it will include comments about them too. Right here it says drawn fifth. This refers to the starting stalls, which are numbered from the rail outwards. Number 1 is on the inside and nearest to the rail, and it's sometimes considered to be the best draw. This number is chosen by random selection. It's anybody's guess which stall a horse will be in. The computer-generated draw takes place a day before the race by Horse Racing Ireland, and trainers are always watchful to see which one it'll be.
A really important thing you need to check is the distance of the race. How many furlongs will it be? And remember, a furlong is 1/8 of a mile. Some horses run very well over particular distances. Some prefer a longer and paced race, while others like a shorter, faster race.
The race card will show you the layout of the racecourse, and each race will be clearly marked, showing you where the fences are and the positions of the starting stalls. Sometimes it can be hard to see the start if it's on the opposite side of the viewing stands, so make sure to bring a good pair of binoculars and you'll look the part too. The track and race layout is often in the pages near the back of your race card. There will usually be some information about the horse's past performance, or what's called their form. A commentator might have written something about a particular horse to give you an insight into its recent performances. D means disqualified. 0 means it didn't finish the race in the first 9. R is refusal. U means the rider was unseated. P means the horse pulled up. And F is fall.
So there you have it. I think you'll agree it's really worth picking up one of these race cards because it gives you very useful tips. To quote a horse racing saying, it'll keep you on the inside track. Till the next time.
Did you know that when you hold your hand out and a horse comes over and blows out warm air onto your palm, it normally means they like you?